Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and welcome to The First Encounter. All throughout the month of October, I'll be covering famous horror movies that I will be watching for the first time, and you'll be surprised at the choices. I didn't come across these movies until much later, obviously, because I didn't watch a ton of horror movies growing up, but now that I'm a more mature fan and I'm diving into various other genres, it's time to get these out of the way. This is my horror movie bucket list right here. So let's begin by taking a stab, in more ways than one, at the 1984 classic Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Elm Street. This movie tells the story of Nancy, played by Heather Langenkamp, who, along with her friends, are being stalked by a slain serial killer known as Freddy Krueger, played by Robert Englund. Krueger haunts these teens through their dreams, so they're basically being kept all night, literally, by a deranged former serial killer who wants to kill them. In the words of Gimli the dwarf, certainty of death, small chance of success. What are we waiting for? A Nightmare on Elm Street is regarded by many as one of the, if not the best slasher movie ever made. And it's really hard to argue with them because I thought the movie was very good. I don't think I would put it in high reverence as a lot of other people would, but at the same time, I do respect why people like it so much. My favorite actor of the group of teens was Heather Langenkamp, who played Nancy. I looked her up on IMDb and I realized that she hasn't done very many movies after Nightmare 1, 2, and 3. She's done a ton of TV, like in American Horror Story and Jag, but she didn't really do a ton of movies after this. And it's really sad because I really liked her in this movie. She was committed, she was clearly trying her hardest, and she did her best with the cheesy lines that she was given. But the best part of the movie, by a country mile, is Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. He basically is the reason why this series has lasted as long as it has. They even tried to remake this movie with Jackie Earle Haley as Krueger. And while I like Jackie Earle Haley and he was awesome in Watchmen, there is only one Freddy, and his name is Robert Englund. Unlike other slasher movie villains like Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers, Freddy actually has some personality to him. You know, Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees are just brutes. I mean, they can kill you, but there's not really much other than that. Freddy drops one-liners, he drops in creepily on them, not to mention the fact that he can manipulate dreams, which kind of parlays into what else I liked about the movie was how surreal it all felt. Wes Craven did an excellent job of blending the real world with the dream world, so I really felt off balance watching it because there was so much of, okay, what's real, what's not real. And unlike in other movies that incorporate dreams like Inception or The Cell, where you clearly have a distinction between the dream world and the real world, or there's at least a character or something to say that you are officially in the real world now, A Nightmare on Elm Street doesn't do that. Because you're so off kilter like that, it really adds to the tension and the overall experience. But this movie is not perfect and it definitely has its problems, especially concerning the teens. The rest of the teens were just there to be cannon fodder, or Krueger fodder? Not even a young baby-faced Johnny Depp could really get past the fact that he was just a generic teen. When I saw Johnny Depp in this movie, I'm like, wow, he is so young. Like, this was before he would go to be in What's Eating Gilbert Grape and Ed Wood, and would basically reinvigorate his career with Pirates of the Caribbean, and before he was an Indian and a vampire. No, this was before all of that. Just to see him just so young, it was a little... It was a little weird, but once I started seeing him, I'm like, okay, I can get used to this. And this is probably something that more seasoned Nightmare on Elm Street fans can explain, but I just thought that the whole subplot with the mother just went nowhere. Without giving a ton away, the mother, they seem to imply, has dealt with Freddy Krueger before. But it almost never comes up again. I know that I'm asking for more depth with a movie called A Nightmare on Elm Street, and with a villain that looks like this. However, if a plot point is introduced, I want to see it through to the end, and this movie didn't do that. If it's explained in the other movies, then fine, but for me, it just felt kind of needless. In the end, though, I am going to give A Nightmare on Elm Street a great rating. I thought the acting was really good from Nancy Cartwright and Robert Englund. They both really brought their A game to this, and really elevated it from a B movie to an A- movie. And the effects and the dream world and the real world combined all together made for just an overall just surreal experience. My problems with it were the useless mother subplot and the rest of the teens. Not even Johnny Depp could pull himself from that. Maybe next year I'll review the first Friday the 13th. Who knows? But this is just the beginning of the first encounter. On Thursday, stay tuned for my review of John Carpenter's The Thing. I cannot wait to talk about that. My name is Ryan Gam, and boys and ghouls, I'll see you in the next one.